Yeah, welcome
Oh,
back
I
to
think I did answer that. I think I did answer that at some
an
point.
actual
But,
quality recording.
It doesn't. It's like emotionless. It's effectively a robot.
Whoa, it's basically Dabo.
Not like Dabo though. Not like Fortress either. It's like it's basically a Roomba. Okay.
A Roomba. Ooh. A flying Roomba.
Basically, a flying vacuum cleaner that doesn't clean things.
A Roomba's a
But it
vacuum
does suck.
cleaner that just vacuums for you. So you literally have to do nothing.
For fuck's sake, for the person who built it, I'm not going to put an owlbear in a car. It's also a dance thing, yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay, the person who PM'd me. No. Jesus Christ. DM'd me 17.
What happened?
People are PMing me. Anyway.
17. That means shit.
No. Anyway, it's about noon. Just entered the city of Valra, the capital. It's a lot of decorations being set up, pink and brown ribbons and banners being set up.
Pink and brown, the classic Christmas colors.
It's not Christmas. No.
Lime just wants it to be Christmas every day in the campaigns.
We could probably give gifts because it's. I mean, it's not Christmas, but it's still.
It's typically a very very religious event where it's the tree sends its blossoms down, but it's very much like a bunch of people just use it to party and stuff. It's not really an exchangey gift sort of holiday.
Damn.
I think it's more along the lines of something like Halloween than Christmas.
So we can go door to door and steal stuff from people?
No, not like that though.
Dang
Most
it.
of the shops are closed during the actual event, but the event starts tomorrow.
How about the pet shops?
Yeah, most shops would be closed from tomorrow onwards for the next 3 days because it's usually a 3-day event.
So I better go fast then.
It's also not Halloween, so it's spring right now in the world.
But it's still very cold here in it area, right?
Yes, very cold.
But-
The weather will start to warm up as you get closer to summer, but right now you're basically still in like early spring, very, very cold weather. Each region is based on the season, but it is spring in all of them. Yeah. Think of it like this, yeah? When it's winter in the winter area, it's a hellish nightmare of cold. When it's summer in the winter area, it's still cold as fuck, just not quite as cold. Think of it like, what's the North Pole like in summer? And what's Saudi Arabia like in winter? They're still going to be cold and warm relative to each other.
Is migration very common here because of the temperature changes, or not?
Not particularly. Most people who are born in an area typically acclimate to that weather. But people who weren't born in Niflheim or haven't lived there for a while, it's probably pretty cold for you. That would be Eileen and Malreinn. But yeah, you're currently just in this in the main street heading into the town. It's a very large place, but if you want to do anything, today shops are still open. People are setting things up. You've got a whole lot of stuff you can do. Just tell me if there's anything you want to do. And I will say if you remember the last thing that happened was Malreinn and Eileen, you both sort of got distracted by a flyer, which seems to be advertising a talent show, where some familiar names and faces seem to pop up.
Hello.
It is in 2 days' time, I believe. I'll check. I believe it's in 2 days' time at nighttime. Yeah, so it's in 2 days' time at night time. Yeah, you could definitely sign up. It seems to mention sign-ups are being held at the Elf and Mouse Casino. You have absolutely no idea what that is or where that is, but you can at least ask around.
We have a job to do, don't we?
Yes. What you know about the job is
Don't you have
Pike
a auditorium?
told you to go to the rookery, which is where her son works. And he might be able to help set you up with the rooms or something while you look into the smuggling thing.
Cool.
But yeah, it's really up to you guys. So if you could split up, you can do what you want to do.
I will gain rooms. Good.
Okay.
Don't die. I'm gonna leave and go.
Okay, so
Rookery.
you're going to are you going to start asking around to find this
No, just
rookery?
like marching around on the streets looking for stuff.
Okay, give me just a general perception check with disadvantage, I'll say, because you don't really have any directions or anything. And Lime, give me just a general charisma check. That's good enough charisma save. The fortress, you wander around the streets for a little bit, but you don't really seem to be finding it. And definitely a lot of people are walking like around you, sort of. They don't seem to be staring at you that much, but they are like making a lot of space for you as you move through the streets. Meanwhile, you very quickly, Eileen very quickly understands that the Elf and Mouse is in a place called the Temples, which is apparently the rich place in town, which you can't get into unless you have like a reason for being there.
I'm gonna grab the nearest person next to me.
So you just grab this woman who's walking along the street. She sort of like looks very like shocked up at you.
Is she a human woman?
She's human.
Human. Where is the rookery in this town?
It's just that way. And she
Thank
just
you.
points awkwardly. And she seems to be pointing towards a place called the Married Shield Beer Hall.
All right.
And as you look at
Write it
this
down.
building, it seems to have a tower that's like sort of awkwardly built off of it and seems to be built upwards like a spire. You see a few birds flying around up there.
All right, I'll set it down and go head towards that.
Okay, cool. What is Malreinn and Eileen doing?
Bongo eat?
And what is Erevan doing?
I
Yeah, I think he's eating.
will head to the casino and sign up.
Okay, so is Eileen doing that too?
What is Ervan doing? That's a good question.
I think
Probably
he's.
just
I'll
dead.
say he's currently with you because I think he's eating.
Wait, so you're not even. You said Ervan, and okay.
Oh, did I say Erevan? Oh
You
god,
said it like twice.
it's because Therud and Erevan are like they sound similar in my
No,
head.
they don't. They're not at all.
They have Ther and Air. That's like
Nah, that's a stretch.
it's my brain works in mysterious ways.
I see.
But yeah, Malreinn and Eileen, you head together to find these temples, wherever this place is, this rich area. It takes you a bit of walking around. You actually walk through a market area, and as you're walking through this market area, you see lots of different stalls being set up, some games being set up. You see what looks to be a test your strength sort of game being set up. You see a huge crowd of people around, just setting up different stalls. Some people are like bringing out large carts full of flowers, generally setting up this market area. And as you walk through this market area, you see what appears to be the temples. It's much more empty than this marketplace is, but it seems to be right next to it effectively. And there are several guards stationed in the street, sort of blocking people from just walking into this area of town. Shut that down immediately. Okay, so are you just going to start heading into this rich area? As you're walking, and Malreinn sort of following along, these guards seem to stop you in tracks. Like, state your business. He sort of looks between the two of you. The first one is like, "Oh, okay, miss, you can go through," and sort of like gestures for Eileen to walk through. Are you going to? Okay, you sort of walk through, and Malreinn's left behind these two guards, and this guard seems to turn to you. It's like, your singing voice. I'll also say, Eileen, you notice something weird about Malreinn's singing voice. It's very high pitched and feminine. Like, if you didn't hear it elsewhere, if you like didn't know who was singing it, it sounds exactly like a woman singing. Just something to note. But this guard seems to stop you. And it's like, you sound familiar. I think. Are you already signed up for the competition? Oh, well, by all means, and he allows you inside. Two of you step into this area and sort of regroup with each other. It's a lot cleaner than other streets are. Not that the other streets are particularly dirty, but it's definitely more taken care of. There are lots of temples all around to just about every good deity you know. You pass by several of them as you're walking, some bigger than others. Like, you definitely notice a very large temple to who you know is the patron god of Niflheim.
Wait,
You are
uh,
pass by temples to Odin, to Munya, to Helena, basically all of the gods that you know. There's not one you can't find here, basically, a temple to a god. But as you're walking past, you quite easily notice the casino. It's got a few, it's got a lot of decorations hung up outside, and you can hear some people on the inside. It seems to be the noisiest place in this area. It seems quite large as well. Yeah, you can step inside if you want. You going inside?
wait.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, okay.
But yeah, you step inside and looking around, it's a big place. It's also looks quite a lot more like an inn on the inside. It definitely has a tavern area, big bar, and that seems to be the main area. And this large casino seems to be sort of off to the side. Behind the bar, you see a tiefling man, and they seem to be. He seems to be shouting towards someone who's working on building a stage. By the looks of it, this definitely seems like the venue because they've got a lot of things being set up, a lot of seating being set up, and this large stage being currently built up. It doesn't seem to be being built very quickly. Sorry, I think there's thunder outside.
I will try to inform myself by asking the people if they know cider.
Who are you going to ask? Are you just going to go up to the bartender, or
People who are
random patron?
building the stage.
Okay, you go up to people. You see like two just kind of scruffy-looking humans who are struggling to build this big stage up. They seem you sort of start talking to them, then they turn, sort of looking through you and going towards the tiefling guy. It's like, look, nobody's going to build this stage for that much money by the deadline. I quit, and he just sort of walks off, and his friend sort of awkwardly follows along with him. The tiefling sort of looks up, perks up. It's like, you want to build the stage? Well, by all means. I can pay you for it if you are willing. Do you have experience with this sort of building work? Well, I had the job out for. Oh, let me see. Actually, I have no idea. Oh, because I've scrolled up to the very top of my thing. That's why. For 150 gold. It will take you some time though. Yeah. If you can find anyone who would be willing to do it, please do. Most of the people here don't seem to know what an honor it is to work for a place like the Elfin Mouse. But you seem to have better taste than that, don't you, sir? Seem to just learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how can I help you today? Gesturing to the two of you.
I wanted to sign up for the show.
Ah, last minute additions, of course. I'll get you a sign up sheet right away. And he sort of rifles through some papers underneath the bar and hands one to you. Ah, and you too, of course. Here you go, lady. And just hands you one too. Once you finish, just hand those back to me, and yes, then you're more than welcome to stay backstage to practice. It's in a couple of days. I hope that's enough time to get you prepared. And if you need any special things set up, be sure to ask. Says with a smile.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Have you heard about a girl named Cider? I am trying to find her, and she might have talked to you before.
Cider, yes. That's the woman singing. Yes, I think she's backstage right now, actually, if you want to go back and see her. Just finish up writing your application form, and then we'll do that for you.
Yeah.
As for
Thanks.
bunnies, I can definitely acquire some bunnies.
All of the bunnies.
Yes, I'll get you some bunny and a seesaw. Very well. Strange requirements, but I'm sure I can get those for you. A magician, I take it?
Kokekio.
Ah, well, you may have some competition. We have another magician as well.
Who's using
and
a seesaw?
What's it that you're doing, Mr. And he sort of looks towards you, Malreinn, not really knowing what to call you.
Yeah, my name is Malreinn, and I am going to sing.
Ah, well then you've definitely got a competition. We've got a couple of singers actually, a band and your friend Cider, I believe, are the two singers that we've got.
Cider is definitely one of the best singers I know, but I am a Kenku, so I should be able to outperform almost all of them.
Well, once you've handed in your 20 gold deposit, then you'll be signed up for the
I do have a
talent show.
request though. Is there any way to acquire some show clothes, like a special uniform to wear on the stage?
I'm afraid anything beyond basic uniforms you'll have to provide for yourselves, of course. We can provide the basic, like if you need any instruments or some basic stage effects, but anything too expensive for out of your own pocket. But yeah, if anyone's, if you're gonna, if you're gonna oh, you're singing, okay? Well, I see you have a graceful singing voice. I'm sure your performance will be very entertaining. And he seems to jot something down on a piece of paper that he's like, just holding. It's like, well, it will be 20 gold to sign up, but there is prize money if you are lucky enough to win. So if two of you want to sign up, then it's just take off 20 gold. Yes, each. Very well. And Malreinn, just mark off your 20 gold.
I removed the gold.
Cool. So while you two are having that conversation, he's like, "You're welcome to meet with the other contestants there backstage right now. The door is just right through there." And as he leaves you with that, Erevan and Fortress.
Ooh, Airvan.
Both of you head up to this Married Shield beer hall, which seems to have a rookery shoved into it at a strange angle. And as soon as you step in, you hear the sounds of a fight going on. You see a few people crowded around, and you hear a lot of shouts, and people are really getting into this fight that's going on. A woman behind the bar seems to notice you and just give you a small nod. And yeah, this big fight seems to be going on.
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk up to the person behind the counter and
Okay. Hello. How can I help you?
do you know Pike's son?
Pike, son. You're gonna have to give me a name, I'm afraid.
Do I know his name?
It's Andy.
Ah,
Andy from Toy Story.
Yeah, yes, Andy. He works in the rookery. Just take those stairs up there.
thank
What's your business with him? He seems to look over you curiously.
you. Family business.
I see. Travis, just keep an eye on this one, okay? And you see, coming from around the corner, a huge minotaur who even rivals your height. And he seems to be like, just looks you very intensely. Doesn't say anything, but seems to follow you over to the rookery ladder if you're going that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Erevan doing the same thing, just sort of following along?
Airvan's, I think, is dead.
Therud. I'm gonna keep calling you Erevan. Therud. Therud.
He might not be back.
Yes, I'm gonna follow the
Who's back?
fortress.
Literally talking in the chat.
Wait, wait a second. What? Why is my... Wait.
Ah, okay.
Hello? Hello? Fuck.
But yeah,
Hello?
if you need to type for now while you get your mic sorted, I'll just assume you're following the fortress unless you say otherwise, okay? But yeah, you sort of head up this
Hello?
ladder. Oh, hello.
Hey.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay. But yeah, you walk up this this small ladder.
Hello?
This-
Perfect.
Is it working? Hello?
I think... Did it fix? Did it fix?
Yeah, it
Okay, there we
fixed.
go. I fixed it. Cool.
But yeah, the two of you are heading up to this ladder, unless Therud wants to do anything different.
No, yeah, that's good. I'll follow.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you follow along and head up the ladder of this rookery. It's more like very steep stairs more than a ladder, but I will say it's very awkward for you and the Minotaur to climb it, because of how big you are. The stairs are definitely not designed for someone of your height.
I'm
But you do
extremely
manage to get
agile.
up.
Anyway.
And when you reach the top, you see a halfling, maybe 17, 18 years old. And he seems to turn around and look at you. He's got bright blonde hair and big, thick glasses.
Thick.
And he seems to turn. She's like, "Oh, hello. How can I help you?"
Are you Andy?
Yes. Oh, a fortress, right? I didn't know you for very long, but
Indeed.
it's nice to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You didn't know him very well at all
Pike
because he
sent
left
me.
like very quickly. Yeah. Oh, is mother all right?
Yes. I
Oh, that's good.
came to acquire, came to track down some smugglers, and she said to ask for your help.
Oh well, yes, I have set up in the city quite nicely. If you need rooms, you're welcome to stay here. If you're looking to track down smugglers, you'd best speak to the lawmaster. He would be the most knowledgeable such a thing. I can get you room sorted if you want. There are two that are spare anyway.
That would be very helpful.
That'd be
Hey,
great.
Very well. Is there anything else you need from me right now?
Can I buy a bird?
Well, normally these birds are for sending messages, but I suppose you could buy one.
How much?
Well, if you wanted to buy it with some food, enough to keep it healthy, maybe 5 gold.
Sure. I'll
Oh,
give him
no.
gold.
Very well.
5 gold.
And you now have a rook.
Oh,
What is a rook?
A rook is a bird. That's why it's called a rookery.
Like a crow?
It's
Or-
basically a crow, yeah.
Alright, cool. Is it smart?
crow no.
Smart enough to deliver messages.
Alright.
Hmm?
Thank you, Andy.
No problem.
Don't
He
mention
seems
it.
to-
Wink.
seems to walk down the ladder. It's like, I'll just get your room set up now. And he also gives you directions towards the lawmaster if you need it. It only takes him a couple minutes, and then he comes back up and gives you 2 keys. It's like, here are 2 rooms. You're welcome to stay as long as you need.
Thank you. Do you have any do you know anything about smugglers in the city?
Honestly, I wouldn't, but the lawmaster definitely would. There's actually a notice board outside the lawmaster's office, which has like bounties on people. That might be a good place to check as well while you're going that way.
Alright.
Alright. Gracias.
I
No
think
problem.
I've kind of ditched the robot style accent because it's really weird. I don't
That's
know.
what you're doing. You can head
Yeah.
back down, and you see this huge minotaur sort of awkwardly. You mean like trouble?
You there?
You're like cutting in and out.
Seems to have ended.
You're cutting in and out.
Oh, am I? Am I okay now?
You seem good.
You're good.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. Anyway, you head back down the stairs, and you see that this fight is over. And what you didn't see before is that it didn't seem like it was people that were fighting. You actually see 2 people with very nasty-looking dogs. It seems like this place has dog fighting or some kind of beast fighting going on, and these 2 dogs have just gotten out of a pretty tough fight. But yeah, people seem to
Aw.
be easing up now and sitting down, sort of getting drinks after that fight was done. But yeah, while you're doing that, I guess I'll jump back to Eileen and Malreinn on the complete other side of the city. The 2 of you heading backstage, right?
Yep.
You head backstage and you see a number of people. Immediately, you're greeted with a beautiful sounding voice, which sounds exactly like the voice that Malreinn just sang with. Right at the back, you see, just under a stage light, gently strumming a harp and singing a tune very similar to the one that Malreinn sung, is a woman with curled hair. She looks very beautiful, and she's just sitting there gently strumming her harp. You also see a couple of other people. You see a tiefling who seems to be spinning around, setting fire to everything. Not actually burning things around her, but like setting fire to her hands as she spins, creating like beautiful flames circles. Seems to be some sort of fire dancer. And you also see one other person who seems to be kind of panicked. He seems to be like pacing back and forth, rubbing his head. Hooded figure in a very dark purple hood, very cloaked. Can't really make out any of his features, but you can tell just by like stature that he's male. Just pacing back and forth, very looking quite angry or annoyed. But yeah, those are the 3 people you see right now. What you gonna do? Okay, you approach. She doesn't immediately seem to take notice, just continuing to strum on her harp. The song seems to be nearing an end. You're familiar. You remember this song. It's near its end. When she finishes, she seems to slowly put the harp down and open up her eyes, look around gently. When she sees you, there's a moment of like recognition before she just immediately gets up, says Malreinn, Malreinn, and runs up and hugs you very, very tightly.
Uh,
It's so good to see you again. I didn't know you'd be here. It has been so long. Where did you go? Oh, goodness. It's good that you made some new friends, though. I myself went off trying to be an adventurer, as you know. It wasn't easy. I found myself in Therud, and I was studying at Bard College, but something happened about a week ago. I just had the sudden epiphany that I shouldn't be there, and I left that night, and I made my way here. I heard they were having this sort of talent show, and I thought it'd be the best thing to do. So glad to see you again. What's Eileen doing while this is going on as well? Yes, we most definitely should. You don't see anyone who resembles Melvin whatsoever. But granted, this probably doesn't look like everyone. It looks like maybe if you come back at some other point, you'd see someone like Melvin. Okay. Were you practicing anything in particular, or just using your magician's kit to try a few tricks? Oh, you're trying to introduce Eileen inside? Okay, what are you going to say? Oh, it's very nice to meet you. She sort of extends a hand. She looks like a very, very soft, very gentle person, just based on first appearance. I don't know you. So I'm pretty sure there aren't 7 oceans. There's only one.
Blocks.
I'm blocking you on MySpace.
But it's very nice to meet you. Give me. No, never mind. Sort of just like extends a hand. Sort of shake your hand. But yeah, is there anything else that the two of you want to do while you're here backstage? Hey, well, yes, an old friend of his. I haven't seen him in a long while, though.
Is she kinky?
Oh, no, she's not Kenku. She's a human woman.
Alright.
Yes, we should totally team up. Do you still sing? I remember our harmonies were very nice before. And as you start singing a tune that you used to sing when you were younger, she sort of joins in, and now Eileen, this is when you actually notice it. Malreinn is singing with this woman's voice. It sounds like exactly the same, and the two sort of layer on top of each other. Give me a performance check, actually, and she'll give one too.
Performance is a thing, is it? It is.
Yes, it is.
You've just never played like a bard. You both. It's not like you haven't obviously practiced this song beforehand, but it sounds very good. Your voices complement each other perfectly, and you still remember her voice being exactly the same as it was all that time ago. But yeah.
I have no idea actually. It has been quite some time since I wrote my story. But I'd say 5, 6 years more.
Yeah. Around that. Definitely been quite a while. But yeah, do either of you want to do anything else?
Not really. I kind of have done everything that I can right now, I think.
Okay. Cider sort of turns to you and it's like, if you don't have anything else to do, I could show you around town. I've kind of done practicing for now. Very well. Would you like to join us? Eileen, was it?
She said that out loud.
We're just going to walk around the city, and I can show him where things are. Of course, if you need to practice, that's fine too. Oh, very well. And she sort of leads the two of you out and starts walking you around the temples. Meanwhile, Therud and Fortress, are you just going to head straight over to this Lawmaster?
Yeah.
I know. I think
No,
we should
we're
get back.
We're gonna do it right now. We're gonna barge in there and say, "Hey."
Okay, if you want
Hey.
to go over there, does Fortress say you were doing something else?
No, I think we should. I'm gonna meet back with everybody else.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And is Therud gonna go with
Sure.
or are you?
Let's go. I'll go with Fortress.
Okay. Takes you some time to sort of meet up with each other. Actually, takes you quite a decent amount of time because they are in the rich area of town, and you can't get into the rich area of town without a reason. But eventually they leave the rich area, the temples. Side has shown you around and shown you to all of the different temples. It's like that's the temple of Odin. This is the one for Munya. This is one for Nap. What a ridiculous name. But yes, these are all the temples. And then she sort of starts leading you out of the temples area, the large area. Are you actually saying that out loud? She turns to you and like she looks a little bit almost scared. And it's like, I think is a fine name, and she seems to look genuinely kind of a little bit scared. What you do know is this town is like really, really like supportive of It's like he's like their god. You are.
What? What are you talking about?
A lot of thunder happening right now.
A lot of thunder.
So yeah, that was like a constant like 10-second long roll of thunder. I love it that happens whenever I'm playing D&D. Yeah. It's just my storytelling is coming to life with the pathetic fallacy, obviously.
Boom.
Yeah. She sort of eventually leads you out. And, this area is called the Scrum. The large part of the city that's not the temples is the Scrum. And as she's sort of leading you out, you actually meet up with the fortress and Therud, who are sort of just waiting out there for you. The 5 of you group up and exchange pleasantries. Is there anything you want to actually say in particular to this random cider woman?
No, I don't want to say anything to her.
Okay. So you sort of fill each other in on like what's going on. You've got rooms already. You've got signed up to the talent show.
Well, I don't want to tell Cider about the smuggling.
Okay, you won't do that then.
Yeah.
Very well. Yeah, but what are you guys gonna do? It's only been a couple of hours that you've been in town, maybe 3 hours or so. It's about 3 p.m. right now.
Wait, okay. So I've got a bird, I've got a dog, I've got a mule.
You do indeed.
And we got this bird that has like no brains, but you know,
I think it does have brains.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Okay, so
You're all currently just outside of the rich area. You're now in the scrum, which is the poorer area of town.
The scrub area.
The scrum. Scrum
I
debate.
will mention that I have found a job today about building a stage, which might be useful for us to get some money.
I found out what?
A stage. The job to
Stage.
stage.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the stage. Oh.
Steak.
Yeah,
thought you said steak
you're
at first,
building
too.
stage.
I thought it was a joke. I was
Suddenly turned
confused.
into a cooking D&D session. Very important.
Yeah. Welcome to the special culinary D&D. Today we're
It's a
gonna.
cooking episode and a beach episode at the same time.
Okay, today we're gonna teach you how to bake things that you find on the beach. So first off, we're gonna start off with this dead corpse.
Isn't all meat dead corpses?
Well, you've just been cooking things wrong. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alive
shoot them
corpses. Alive corpses are like such. Oh my gosh, like.
Alive
It tastes
corpses.
way better, like seriously.
Yeah.
More fresh.
What have I done? Get out of here.
But yeah. And what are you guys doing?
Breaking my browser. No worry. Gosh dang it. Stop.
What's this lady's name again?
Cider.
Cider. Okay, that doesn't work.
Cider.
May we? We have business to attend to. May we?
Oh, sorry. I did
part
not mean to take
ways?
up your time. Yes, I can just head back to the backstage room if you need me at all. I could do with some more practice anyway.
Okay. Thank you for your
Time?
Yes, very well. And she sort of just heads back into this rich area.
Okay.
Eileen, if you want to practice for the contest, how do you want to do so?
We have business to attend to.
We have business to attend to?
We have business to attend to.
We have business to attend to.
If y'all just
Yeah.
gonna make fun of my voice acting.
No, tone of voice is very important. It can make something sound perverted.
Yes.
You can
and
make
I
anything
don't have
sound
time.
perverted, and I mean anything.
We gotta practice for that
Anything.
contest. I mean the stage building assignment.
I'll build your stage.
I'm gonna really build up a stage, if you know what I mean.
That sounds sexual and like aggressive. Like it's like a threat. Oh, I'll build your stage.
I'm gonna build your stage if I know what I mean.
Oh, well, currently the seesaw it would have to be built on the stage.
I'll set up
or
your
near
seesaw.
with this building the stage. You don't actually have a seesaw on you.
Smugglers. Remember, we need smugglers. We have to go after the smugglers.
The smugglers.
Smugglers, remember? That's our job, smugglers.
Is it? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't remember that part.
We are close by to the Lawmaster's area if you want to go there.
Follow me. And start heading towards this Lawmaster's area.
If you are all following, Eileen's just practicing where the magic actually goes, and you head over. Immediately outside, you see a large notice board, which a few people seem to be milling around outside, reading some of the notices. You can see what Andy meant. It just does seem to be show a few jobs available. You can read it if you want, or you can just head inside. What do you want to do?
I think that building the stage is a bit more important right now.
You actually notice something about that. You actually see an advertisement or a notice on this board that actually seems to be talking about building a stage. It says something like Alf from the Elfin Mouse looking to help looking for one individual to set up large stage on short notice, 150 gold payment up front, basically. But you also see other things if people want to read. Otherwise, you can just head inside or do something else. It's all up to you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna head in.
If Fortress is heading in, is anyone heading in with him?
Sure, I'll head in too.
Yeah,
Some guys.
same.
Okay, and Eileen, are you heading in as well? It's just good to know where everyone is. No, okay, you're not. Well, the three of you head in. You start heading in, and guards initially stop you, but once you explain that you're just here to ask about things with the Lawmaster, they let you through, and there's not much of a wait before you're seated with the Lawmaster. He's a pretty strong-looking human man, maybe late 40s, early 50s, dark hair. He seems to look you up and down. All right, you looking for a job?
I need information on smuggling and smugglers in the city.
Smuggling.
Yes.
Interesting. What can you tell me about this?
They're coming from whatever city we came from. I don't know what was.
Yeah, if you just want, you could fill him in on all the information.
Yeah.
You know.
Fill me on all the information.
He seems to ponder things for a moment. You know what? We have had something rather suspicious. There's a cooking store. It's called Spiced Salted Singed Meats or something like that. The man who runs it, we've been a bit suspicious that he was dealing drugs for some time because his basement, they were loading crates into his basement of his shop at one point, and we got several reports about it, but we haven't really looked into it since it didn't seem too urgent. If this is smuggling, then
exactly like what we're doing.
well, I can give you the directions. Do have a job. Let's see. And students to rifle through some papers. Oh yes, this offers 100 gold for any information or evidence leading to an arrest. So there's that. If it interests you.
Good.
Very, very well. And he sort of just jots down the information. If anything you can do to help the city would be great in this time of need.
Time of need.
Yes. You'd be surprised how few people like working when there's a festival going on.
Makes sense. Thank you, sir.
No problem. And he quite quickly and briskly ushers you out of the room, like being like, "Yep, we're done here." Eileen, are you doing anything particular outside while this is going on? Okay, you can sort of just like practice with your magic kit, practice a few magic tricks. As you're doing this, an old beggar lady, like a very old, probably homeless woman, seems to walk up to you slowly and is like, "Excuse me, miss, could you spare some change?"
Change for the poor. Change for the
Change
poor.
poor. It's not. My voice work is not amazing by any means. I have like 3 voices I can do.
Change for the
Would you really
poor.
like it, or?
Change for the poor. Give me some change. I need some smokes.
Oh, how generous! Thank you. And she starts turning to walk away, but then she sort of stops. Someone's like, were you with that man with the long dark hair? And you know he's probably talking. She's probably talking about Erevan Therud. Therud, I will remember your name eventually. Oh, well, I just wanted to. I noticed his cloak. It's very interesting. I might want to take a look at it sometime if you're ever in the area. I mostly stay around the temples. Just something to keep in mind. And she sort of gives a warm smile before starting to walk away. But, yeah, she stops and
Wait, am I wearing the cloak right now?
yeah, you will be.
Okay.
If you want to wear it a bit concealed, you definitely could do.
Yeah, that would probably be a better idea.
Okay, you can wear it definitely at least partially concealed. It's 2 O's, but yeah. And no, that's 2 O's, and that's not the right. No, it's Munya is the goddess of the sun, and then Sunyo. Yeah, that is how you spell the goddess of the sun, and then Munyo is the god of the moon. There we go. Sunyo, rather. Ugh. They're very confusing names. I made them so confusing. Ugh. Oh, I know quite a bit about the gods. I know about several different gods. I know about Munya. I know about Sunyo. I know about Nap.
Ugh.
Nap in particular. I'm sure you'd be very interested in that, wouldn't you? I'm very perceptive for these things, dearie. Thank you very much. And she seems to just walk off with a slight limp. As this is happening, the other 3 basically finished up inside with the Lawmaster and sort of head out towards you. The 4 of you regroup.
I will try to find cider to practice my singing more for the show.
Yeah, you most definitely can do that. You sort of head off and can easily get back to where Cider is. Is anyone else doing anything? It's getting like a bit later. It's been another couple hours probably of wandering around asking for directions and things. So it's about 5 p.m. Probably it's starting to get dark.
Hmm.
You still have like probably an hour or so of daylight, but then it'll be dark. Great idea to have a festival like in like the early spring where it's super dark all the time.
Good idea. Um,
If you guys want to go out and shop for matching outfits, you most definitely can. You could find decent quality outfits for probably 10 gold each. And she can pay for it, so she'll pay for them. She hasn't seen you in ages, so why not?
Do I get a matching outfit?
No.
Darn.
I don't know why.
You're very quiet.
sound like you're on the moon currently.
Yeah.
I'm just a man on the moon.
Yeah, I'm using Discord mobile, so it has some slight flaws to it.
Still not as bad as Skype.
I recommend putting it next to your mouth.
Yeah, I have put it next to my ear, but it can still kind of be difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
You just faded out of existence.
Don't maybe like
Slowly
put the
getting
mic by your mouth
quieter
and
and quieter.
at your ear.
I have put it completely against my ear. I cannot get it any further, or it would be in my skull, and that does not seem to be ideal at any moment in my life.
I mean, depends on what your life is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to go to that point, but I see what you mean.
What?
Yeah. The three of you doing anything else, like, because Malreinn being with Side is probably gonna take him into the night, and he'll probably have to rest there, or you can rest there because you will have like accommodation and stuff being part of the talent show. But the
Accommodation.
Therud Fortress, or Eileen want to do anything else tonight? All up to you. This is like the last day that shops will be open, by the way, for now,
Yeah.
because
I'm gonna go look for. Yeah.
He's gonna look for yeah.
He's going to look for What are you looking for?
Stable. I
Yeah.
said like
Oh,
3
okay.
times.
So yeah, we couldn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. my bad.
But yeah, you can look for a stable using F. What you want to do in a stable in particular?
Find a very big horse, largest horse.
Okay. You could definitely find a big horse there.
I will buy the big horse. Or how much would a big horse be?
If you're looking for like a fighting war horse, they'd be pretty expensive because they're like
Nah, just like a fat old one, but it's big.
big.
A
standard big horse. You can get
fat
roughly-
old one, but it's big.
with food, probably like 10 gold.
Really?
Yeah, because you want to buy like a decent horse. Horses are an investment.
But 10 gold is nothing. What?
10 gold is a lot of money for peasants.
I guess. Can I get a higher quality horse?
That might be out of your price range.
So okay, so it goes from 10 gold to.
Well, yeah, because we're talking the difference of like horses that are good in combat and actually like kings and queens and high up commanders have them, and then you got shitty horses that carry like wheat. Basically, like two kinds is really like purebred, awesome, strong horse or shitty farm horse.
All right, I guess. Okay. So, how much would a? Nah, I'm just gonna get a big horse. I'll take it.
Okay, cool. You've now got a horse, a mule, a dog, and a bird.
Yes.
Great. Just what we needed.
You're basically a walking menagerie.
Yeah. I'm just a big robot with a bunch of animals following it. What's wrong with that? I'm gonna. Okay. How much would a caravan be?
An airfan?
A caravan.
Caravan. Like
Yeah.
if you're talking just like a cart for a horse-drawn cart sort of dealy, you can get one of those for about probably 15 gold. If you're talking like a proper caravan, which you could sleep in and like thing like a like proper like Oregon Trail sort of caravan, that'd be about 35 gold.
Okay. Could I buy one like a circus caravan with?
Probably, yeah. You could buy a colourful caravan if that's what you're asking, because like especially with this event in
No,
town.
not colorful, but like something that I could hold animals and like
Hold
just a place
animals.
for them to be, not necessarily like in prison. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here, let me see if I can find something. Let's see. Okay. You know, okay, just a caravan with animal storage inside of it.
Oh, you're looking to store animals inside of it.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, then probably 55 gold is a pretty big thing.
All right. I'm gonna get one of those.
Okay, it's very big.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Okay.
I'm gonna put like hay and food and everything in the back, and that's where my animals are gonna stay.
Okay. You've bought a little house for your animals.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what you've done. Eileen and Therud are sort of left alone. What are you gonna do?
I don't know how to do math. My computer's completely frozen up.
You're currently like in the basically the center of town, quite near to where the temples are, but you actually need to go into the area where the temples are. Are you going to let her grab you by the arm?
Sure.
Okay. Where are you? Are you leading him anywhere in particular? Okay. Yeah, you can. The guards let you in quite easily because they've seen you before. They know you're part of the talent show, and yeah, you're let lead inside. Is there any particular temple you want to go to, or the casino, or where? Okay. Just give me a perception check. You take a while looking around, but you don't actually manage to see her tonight. You walk up and down between all of the different temples. It's quite interesting seeing all the statues of different gods inside, like just quite a lot of people are praying or giving offerings to gods.
You feel like you've grown closer.
Eileen,
But the question is, do you have enough fun?
Do you have
Is
enough
it a
fun?
fun check or a smarts check?
I think Eileen has plenty of fun for this event.
You say that. I failed a fun event when I had like 20 fun before. And I was like, what?
You
And I was like, I
probably
know it was just really bad luck, but
just get really
What are you talking about now? I'm confused.
monster prom.
Oh, okay.
Such a fun game.
it's so good. Yeah. You take a walk around, but ultimately, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do, like Malreinn's practicing with cider, Fortress is buying his stuff and housing his animals.
That was pretty nice. This place is interesting.
It's definitely very neat. That's That's the best way of describing the temples. It's very clean, very well taken care of.
Yeah, I don't.
Also, very little guard presence. Like they don't like have guards watching you all the time, apart from the guards at the gate, and you're mostly free to do what you want here. There are also guards like closer to the actual lord and lady's house, which is the palace, right at the corner of the town.
Oh my gosh, what?
Jesus.
I can't say that I do. What about you? Nat? Which?
Give me an intelligence check. Therud.
Alright.
Oh no, religion check, obviously, not intelligence. Finally, religion is useful for something.
Except this is the same exact thing, because I don't have any
It is, but-
bonuses.
It's a religion check. Okay, shut up. Yeah, you're familiar with Nap. He's like he's sometimes considered a party god or a god of tricks and trickery. Generally, he's not seen like as a super serious god. He plays tricks on people. Think like a Robin Hood style character. He's a satyr with huge horns, god of fertility as well. Like you don't really know too much about him, but you know the basics.
Oh. Yeah, he seems very fitting for you.
Ooh, is it a good thing to say or not? Ooh.
What do you mean the MCU Loki?
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I have no idea. I don't, but I think Loki's like evil, isn't he? Imagine like a good version of Loki.
I think
He's
he's
generally
like
considered, like-
sometimes good, sometimes bad. I don't really watch Marvel.
Yeah, he kind of spits it around most of the time.
Yeah, well, Nap is generally considered to be like good. He helped in the war. That's one thing that's more relevant is he helped in the war against the Sky Giants, or more specifically, his wife did, and he was sort of there. But he's like the husband of the goddess in charge of the spring area, if that makes sense. And yeah, if that's all there is to it, all of you like retire. I assume Eileen and Therud would return to the rooms at the Marriage Shield Beer Hall. Malreinn's probably staying with Cider, and I assume the fortress is just going to stay with his animals since he doesn't actually need to. I mean, you've got 2 rooms, and you've only got 2 people staying in rooms. I guess Markus would probably stay with Therud, and Eileen would have a room to herself probably.
Before it's nighttime.
Okay.
Can I buy a dog bed and I'm gonna find like the like the recliner chairs, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna find an old cheap one of them. And,
Oh yeah, like 3 silver.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
could get that stuff.
Oh crap! I'm just gonna start with 1 gold because I don't want to
Okay.
be silver man.
They're very friendly. They give you great service if you give them a gold. But yeah, if there's nothing else, everyone has a restful sleep, long rest, fully healed, fully spell slotted. Even though I'm pretty sure nobody used any spell slots or took any damage.
So all my animals are gonna be in this.
Yeah.
And buy a bird cage too. 'Cause why not?
Okay, yeah, that just with that gold it covers.
So I'm just gonna sit in the recliner chair, watch over my animals.
Okay. I like that this is just a thing. Like you're a robot who likes animals.
Yeah.
While Eileen and Therud are in their rooms, both of you can give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Oof.
No, you're just fast. Eileen, both of you sleep completely through the night. But yeah. You wake up. And all of you wake up, yeah. When you wake up, I will say, Eileen, you sort of come out of your room in the morning, freshly rested, and bump into a huge minotaur. You didn't notice him before when you were going to sleep. Seems to maybe be resting in his room, but he's like the bodyguard / bouncer of this inn, and you recognize him.
Oh.
People are recognizing everyone.
Whoa. Hey Beaky, I recognize you. Huh.
Did Senpai just notice me? Eileen, it you?
It me.
It clone you. It not real you. I know you, and he pushes his hand very forcefully against you, pushing you against the wall. Oh, fuck. That real you. Sorry. Yay, friends. I'm bodyguard, or, well, I was walking here because they kicked me out of the circus, and
Oh.
there was this fight going on, and these 2 people were making lots of noise in this inn, I walked in and I knocked them both out, and then she gave me a job. Well, I was the strong man, but then they got these two orcs that were like brothers or something, and then people liked them more than they liked me.
Aww.
Oh, so sketchy.
He hugs you back. You don't need to make a Constitution saving throw or anything, but you can't breathe for a few seconds.
That's by hugging.
Oh fuck! Did it happen again? He sort of like stops hugging you and make sure you're okay.
Rest in peace, Eileen.
Eileen keeps falling over in every session, even if
Zombie
it's a
Eileen.
non-combat session. You're really good at tricks. But festivals today. Oh yeah, I work here. It's pretty easy. I sometimes have to knock people out, but most of the time I don't need to knock people out because they don't like come near me. Yeah, it is. You remembered. When you left, it was like weird. Like people sort of started leaving, and then new people started joining who weren't as nice as the old people, and it sort of fell apart. But it was good for a bit. Don't be sorry. It's good here. I've got friends here, sort of. More friends, well, less friends, but okay friends.
Yes.
Yeah. It is. Well, that and eating food, not dying,
Don't starve.
drinking food, and not
Drinking
freezing,
food.
and eating food. A few other things are important. Oh, fuck, breathing, yeah. I did. That was scary. But yeah, festivals today. You should do the things. There's a lot of games. I'm sure you'll be good at them. Oh, yeah. I don't know when that is. But if I remember, I'll go see you. Okay, good. And yeah, that sort of conversation happens as Therud sort of comes out of his room and sort of catches the last half of it. Seeing Eileen, who's probably quite short, especially compared to this huge mentor, sort of having a very casual conversation. But yeah, what's everyone doing? Are you all going to sort of group up again?
Yeah,
That
I think
seems
Sure.
like a good
start
idea.
heading for these. Well, I guess we should have gone to it before carnival happened.
But yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, you probably should have, but you didn't. So
Well,
you have time. Anyway,
I'll go when I go there.
Uh,
People.
as you stepping outside, like all of you are stepping outside for the first time, you see hundreds and hundreds of blossoms falling down from the massive tree that seem to be coating the floor. It's almost like confetti everywhere, and it's honestly, all of you think it's pretty beautiful. It's none of you have seen this many like blossoms in the same place, and you sort of see the appeal of this event, like this yearly event. You'll see a lot of people smiling, being very happy around you, and I will say you all probably do group up somewhere near the center of town. You see several games set up around you. You see lots of food being sold, and generally it's a pretty good time. Does anyone want to do anything in particular?
I will play some of the games to earn some money.
Okay, just from around you, where you sort of the four of you sort of met up, you see a couple of games. There's one that's set up at the edge of an alleyway, which seems to be some sort of archery contest, and there's the test your strength game, which strangely seems to be called Warhammer Time, and it's got a giant warhammer slamming down onto like a bell. So yeah, you see those two sort of games around you, and it's like right early in the morning, so about like 7-8 a.m.
I will test my luck at the archery game.
Okay, does anyone want to go with him and watch, or help him, or play too?
Sabotage me.
Sabotage him if you want.
Die.
Pardon, Dabo?
Just gonna make. Is my mic being weird? today?
It's just a bit quiet.
No, it's perfectly fine on my end.
I'm just gonna follow everybody and make sure nobody dies by electrocution or anything like that.
Okay, but yeah, you head that way. Is Therud and Eileen doing anything in particular while Marreinn's heading to this archery game? Torch is probably following him.
Yes. We head to the carnival?
Huh?
Head to the carnival? Sure, why not? I'm gonna head there too.
Yeah, you're sort of all in this area, but is there anything in particular you want to do? Because there's the archery game, there's this test your strength game. You can also walk around and find other games if you want.
Sure.
You and Eileen are currently together, so you sort of walking around to find other games.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you walk around for a bit. First, I'll get to the archery game. It seems to be called Ur's Archery. As you know, this town loves Ur, the god.
Urgh.
Ur. It's basically like imagine like a growl. That's what the god's name is.
Urgh.
You probably know quite a bit about Ur, Malreinn, just from general knowledge. Probably because you've probably been compared to him before. He's typically considered the world's fastest bow drawer. He can shoot hundreds of arrows in a minute, and that's what this challenge seems to be. The man behind it is this elven man. He seems to look back and it's like there are two targets at the back of this alleyway, two cans on logs, and you sort of look out and you see right next to each other two logs, two upright logs with small cans on them with archery targets painted on the two cans. The challenge isn't simply to test your accuracy. As you know, everyone here can shoot a bow. It's to test how quick you can fire. 2 silver. It's 1 silver for 2 arrows, and the task is to hit the 2 cans at the same time. If you can hit them both, then you'll get a small prize, and if you can hit them both at exactly the same time, then you'll get a large prize. Are you interested?
I am
man.
definitely interested.
May I buy the
Back.
toucan?
Wait, what?
There's 2 cans.
May I buy the toucan?
Oh god, no. But yeah, if you want to try, it's 1 silver for a game.
Alright, I will play for 5 games.
Okay, very well. So yeah, you have 5 attempts. Now, what I want you to do, yeah, is you pay 1 silver. He gives you 2 arrows. You need to fire twice at these cans, so you can make 2 bow attacks. Yeah, it's not difficult to hit, but the challenging thing is to hit 2 in quick succession. First one's going to be easy to hit, but the second one's going to be much harder to hit because you're aiming very quickly. So make me a bow attack to hit the first one. Actually, a bow attack. Sorry, don't do it yet. Okay, we won't count that one. But a bow attack with advantage to hit the first one, and then a regular bow attack for the second one, because you're hitting a stationary target first and then quickly firing the second. So first one hits, you manage to hit the can.
Dexterity check or something?
I mean, he's got a bow, so
Yeah, but for
Wouldn't it be disadvantage?
Not with disadvantage, no. It's just because it's against a stationary target.
Oh.
He sort of seems like now as you're sort of aiming as he's doing this, and it's like now many people don't manage to hit it, so don't worry if you can't. And you immediately just fire these 2 arrows and hit them both at the same time, knocking both cans over. It's like, oh well, congratulations, you win a large prize. He seems very dejected by that, like not expecting someone to do it so easily. And he sort of turns to some assistant, some teenage girl who seems to be working for him. He's like, move the targets further away, damn it, it's too easy. And he hands you a large prize. It seems to be a large shank of venison, deliciously salted,
Venison?
deer meat,
Oh, okay.
very tasty. And yeah, that you two sort of watch this happen. Eileen and Therud, you're walking along a bit, pass by the strength test your strength game, but you see a couple of other things that take your eye. I'll say, give me a perception check.
Ooh, wait, do I see
Perception.
I'll say if you want to go with them instead, then yeah, you can try.
Well, there are more people, so probably go with
Oh
them.
yeah, and they're also squishier.
Can I do the test the strength thing?
Oh, you can do yeah. You can, so instead you can go to the test your strength thing. So I'll do that first. You test your strength. It's a very simple test your strength thing. You slam down onto this. This effectively like looks like an accordion with a giant warhammer. And once you hit it, it sends a thing up which hits a bell. If you hit the bell, you get. Let's see. It costs 1 gold to play. And if you ring the bell, you get a good prize, but you don't get anything unless you ring the bell.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, you're just gonna do it. Pay 1 gold. Pick up this warhammer, which feels more like a regular hammer to you with your huge size. Pick up this hammer, and if you want to slam it down, it's just a strength check.
What is it? Let me just look at my. Okay, so when I go into rage, right?
You would get advantage with strength checks.
I would. Okay, so
Yeah.
I would be able to do that. I'm gonna start overheating.
Okay, you overheat. You see the steam go out. A lot of some crowd seems to be gathered around. Seems to watch you, seeing this huge metallic man step forward and make a strength check. You get 1 attempt, so it goes very high up, but just underneath the bell and doesn't quite hit it.
Dang.
It's like just short. Oh well, nice attempt. And these
Again.
2 guys seem to be like, well, by all means, pay up. And he seems to-
This is maybe rigged.
I assume if you're still raging, you sort of just throw the gold into their hands. It's like, ugh. Unfortunately, no, it goes even lower this time. It's like the crowd seems to be laughing a little bit, sort of snickering, and especially the 2
Again.
guys who are running it. They're like, well, but by all means, if you want to just give us all your money, it's a nice attempt. It goes even lower. The crowd starts laughing at you. You're still raging. It's not full of anger.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm
Okay.
not giving up until I hit it.
It keeps
It's
getting.
getting lower. It's going lower and lower, and they're like, "Oh, you're getting a bit tired. Don't worry. Lots of people can't do it."
Oh
Nah.
my god.
The crowd is fully laughing. They're losing their shit.
What is this like? Okay. Do it again.
How much money is this?
There we go.
So you've hit it so many times, and the crowd's beginning to laugh. You take a moment to find your center, not your calm center, your center full of anger and rage. You sort of wait a second, and you swing it down so hard, it doesn't actually ring the bell. It breaks the mechanism. Literally, it shatters it, and they look to each other. The crowd goes kind of silent and like, that counts. They hand you a fur belt, which is a belt of giant strength. They call it. It doesn't actually have any effect. It's just a fur belt that doesn't fit around you. But you've broken this game for everyone else.
It was a pleasure playing.
From the crowd,
I'm
you can
going
see
to-
this minotaur give you a thumbs up. It's like, it was good.
Thank you. I'm gonna wear this thing as a crown. Can I
Okay,
do that?
yeah, you can wear it.
Okay.
But yeah, as that's going on, Therud and Eileen sort of walking down. You hear the shouts from behind you. Something's clearly going on, breaking something. That test of strength game. Crazy how strong some people are. You actually initially don't see it, because it's sort of in the back behind a little bit in an alleyway, and seems to be a couple of confectionery stalls and flower stalls. But behind it, you see some curled horns and a game called Knapsack. Seems to be a game themed around the god Nap.
Oh.
You see quite a lot of one thing I will say, you see a lot of god-themed merchandise around, plushies of different gods. Everything's named after gods. This town, Niflheim in general is a more religious area than the rest of the world, but this city in particular is like they're super into their gods.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can definitely find a Nap plushie at some point, but this still seems a bit shadier. This seems like some sort of you don't initially see what the game is unless you want to step closer and try and figure it out.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay. Yeah, you step forward. Well, you see this man who's like kind of portly, very messy, unshaven, scruffy hair. Looks a little bit homeless, potentially. And the stall doesn't look very well built, but he's got 2 grimy-looking cups and 10 dice. And it's like, well, it looks like we've got some more challenges. I will warn you, I am blessed with the power of the great god Nap, and I am unbeatable in games of chance and luck.
Hmm.
If you want to try, it will be a betting game, but I'm sure neither of you can beat me.
All right. So what's the rules?
Pretty simple. You first lay down an initial bet, then you roll 5 dice, privately, of course. You can then bet again if you like the set of dice you've got, or you can choose to just wait it out or fold. Then you can change. You can re-roll as many of those dice as you want. Once you've re-rolled, you can bet one more time, and then the dice are revealed. Some sets of dice are better than others. The best set of dice would be 5 of the same, then a straight, then four of the same, full house, set of 3, 2 pair, 1 pair, and then that's it. So effectively, think poker rules. You want more of the same dice. But yeah, simple d6s. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Well, if either of you want to play, just bet up.
All right. Um. Sure. I'll put in 5 gold.
Oh, big spender! You must think you're pretty blessed. Yeah, and he puts in 5 gold too. He matches your bet. You can now roll 5d6 for me. Just need to find my d6s real quick because, okay. So that right now is not very good because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So you basically got
Yeah.
nothing good right now. But yeah, you can now rebet if you want. So bet more or just call. You can do it now if you want because I'm just like trying to find my things.
Yeah, I'm gonna add 5 to that.
Very well. I'm just going to quickly roll for him because I didn't roll yet. Actually, can I do this? I'm just going to test if this works. How do you GM roll?
GR.
So nobody can see that roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna match your bet.
Okay.
Which dice would you like to re-roll, if any?
Do I just pick one of them?
You can pick as many dice as you want to re-roll. So if you don't like any of them, or if you like want to keep the 6, you could roll all the other ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll the 6.
You're just gonna re-roll the 6. Or...
Yes. Just the
Okay.
6.
Okay, and then you just roll 1d6. Okay, so you've got a pair of 4s. That's what you've got. He's going to re-roll 3 dice. Okay. Well, final bets. Got any more to bet?
Think I'm
There's
good?
currently 20 in the pot. Yeah, and I'll put in another 5.
Alright.
You want to match it?
No, I'm good.
You have to match it basically
What?
if you want to. Otherwise, you have to fold.
Okay, fine, I'm matching it.
Okay, so you put in 15 gold. He's put in 15 gold. You then reveal. He's got a 2 pair. He's got 2 2s and 2 3s. So he wins and takes the pot. See, look, no hard feelings. It's just you're not blessed by Pan. Pan? Nap. I totally didn't forget the name of the god.
Pan.
I'm going to make
Pan,
that
not
canon. He
Nap.
actually forgot the name of the god.
You're not blessed by Pan.
Snap pen.
Well, lady, would you like to try? You actually see he's sort of giving you a weird grin. He's missing several teeth. Well, how much would you like to put down? Well, you seem very sure of yourself. I'll match that. And he puts in 20 gold. Seems like he's taken quite a lot of money from people recently. He seems to go into this small chest that's kind of full of gold. Okay, make your roll. It's 5d6s.
Am I still there?
You're not here, no. This is like while you're doing the strength game.
Alright.
You
Oh.
actually. So something happens. Something strange happens. Yeah. Therud can see this, and so can Eileen. But I'm gonna need Therud to give me a perception check to actually see it. You're not focused at all. But Eileen, there's something. You think that there might be a reason that Therud didn't see it. While these dice are rolling, yeah, you see the dice set. It's pretty good, pair of 6s. But then you hear a voice at the back of your mind that says, "No, this doesn't seem right, does it?" And one of the 6s just ever so slightly turns and falls onto being a 2.
That's actually, isn't that a better roll?
Considerably better.
Yeah, 'cause it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's the second best hand you can get. No, the second best set of hands. The only other better thing is a full set. So it's like, and this guy, give me an insight check. I'll say Therud, because Eileen's more focused on this strange thing that seemed to happen. This dice just moving on its own. You look at the guy. He seems pretty cocky. He seems like he's got a good hand. He's like, I'll put another 20.
Alright, I'll give it.
Okay, put in 20. So there's now like what? So wait, I'm sorry, not keeping track. So
There's 80 in there.
now, and Eileen's got, and you've committed poison. Yeah. Very well. Pick what you want to reroll. He's going to reroll 1 dice.
You've got a straight right now, so.
You could if you got like all of the same die, but you've
That's-
got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is like
It's
it's
very,
basically
very unlikely to
very
get
unlikely.
anybody.
Great hands.
No, I think he
oh,
means
one of
like,
each, as in like all 6s or
Fi-
all 5s.
yeah, 5 of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Whatever you
Yahtzee.
want to get.
Currently, you've got a
Yahtzee.
straight though. You've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the second best set of hands. Okay. Well, he looks, and Therud's already noticed this. He looks very smug. He's like, 20 more gold.
Okay.
You gonna match it?
Yeah.
He reveals first, acting very smug. Straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's no shame that I'm taking your money.
And then.
So, Eileen, would you like to reveal your dice? He seems to ponder for a moment. This smug smile on his face suddenly goes and drops, and he's like, he's silent, and you can see this this twitching eyebrow. Well, beginner's luck, I guess. And he pushes over the 120 gold. Look, this guy was a dick. He deserved it. No, because your straight was better than his. His was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yours is
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Which is like
higher.
very slightly better than his. It's also fun that we've actually got a dice game that we can play now, like Tavern Dice Game, if it goes for it.
It's a pretty good game.
It's just poker boat dice.
It's poker dice, but I think that's like not bad.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty creative.
Well,
Better
thanks.
than actual poker.
I think you gave in 40, so that means 80
Yeah.
for Eileen.
Yeah, I lost 40.
Can we play actual poker with the cards in the system?
Well, you can any card game really.
But I have all of the cards.
81, which is so many levels wrong. But yeah, after all of that, this archery game, this
Stop.
this nap thing, and this
Stop.
game of strength, they all sort of took this. Yeah, no, it's 80 for you, Eileen, and 40 for Therud. Oh, are you talking about how much money he lost in his game? I thought you were just talking about the money he gave and put into the pot. I don't remember how he. I think he lost 40 as well, didn't he?
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I think I lost 20 that game because I put in 5 and then I put another 5.
It's 60 each. It's 60 for each of you. But yeah, the 4 of you regroup after.
Actually, I think it was only 15.
Same difference. It's just 63. It's easier that way.
Okay. Okay, stop. Seriously, I just want to do stuff that isn't. Stop getting my way.
After just playing some games. I'm assuming you all share your cumulative success stories.
Eileen is a boss.
Me smash.
I will say one thing, Eileen. You feel like you hear a small giggle in the back of your mind, very familiar voice, clearly very pleased with what you've just done.
Are we getting that nap plushie ever?
Yeah, you can definitely see a game. There is one game which seems to be the main one with plushies, and there are so many plushies. There are big ones and small ones, and it seems to be a very simple game of throwing. I can't remember what it's called, but you throw balls and it falls down into one of the circles.
Oh, pachinko? Or
It's kind of like pachinko, yeah. But
like
it's like
the-
you throw the ball, so it's
Oh.
like a pachinko machine.
Oh,
but you throw
yeah,
the
those
balls in.
things. I can't
Yeah,
remember what those are
I don't know
called.
what they're called, but yeah.
What's skee ball? Skee ball, right? That's a thing that you throw.
That skee ball is like where you throw it on the ground and try to get into the holes. Like you roll it, and then it has to like bounce into the air. This is a different thing I think he's talking about.
You guys are making me want to play skee ball.
It's actually a popular one. You actually have before getting to the front, and she greets you warmly. It's like, oh, such a what lovely group of people. If you want, you can play. It's very simple. It's 1 silver piece for 3 balls, and there are 3 different targets. The center is the 10-point target. That's the best one. There's some 5-point targets to the sides, and then if you don't hit any of those, there is some 1-point targets, which are the easiest to hit. With 1 silver piece, you get these 3 balls. If you get 20 points, you can take your pick of a large toy, and if you only get 3, you can get a small one. Sound fun? Who wants to go first?
Am I here?
They are the most adorable little stuffed plushies ever. Okay, yeah, you could give a silver piece to her and have 3 balls. No, it's 10 silver per gold, not 100 silver per gold.
Is it 10 silver?
10 silver per gold, 10 copper per silver.
What's Electrium? How much is that order just
10
not?
gold per. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I just use copper, silver, gold, and platinum.
Oh.
Platinum's
It's
pretty
like
rare.
halfway in between. It's like 0.5 gold, I think.
It doesn't exist in this universe. There we go. It's dumb.
It's
It's like
2 gold.
it's
or
like
5
2p
gold?
coins. Like, why do they exist?
But that's what it is. Pretty sure.
It probably is, but fuck it. Okay. So if you want, what target are you going to try aiming for? I will say one thing: these balls are pretty heavy. They've got a surprising amount of weight to them. They're probably filled with some sand or something. But they've got quite a bit of weight to them. So, what target are you going to aim at? So are you going to try and get aim for the center to try and get 10 points? Okay, aiming right for the center. There's 2 ways you can play this. You can try and aim directly for the highest point, which means most likely to fall down to the middle, which would be straight up strength check, because these things are so difficult to throw. Or you can try and throw it a bit tactfully, throw it in a way that it will roll down to the center, which would require a dexterity check, because you're trying to throw it very precisely. Okay, so give me a dexterity check for the first ball.
Yeah, both of those are the same for me.
You throw it up. It does land in the area. It starts falling down, but unfortunately, it falls only into the 1-point area. Still managed to get 1 point though. You still got 2 balls left. 2 of these heavy things. You've got 2 more tries. If you want a big toy, you're gonna need to get 2 10s. This other one you throw it in the same place, but just a slight bit higher, and it actually falls perfectly and rolls down into 10. Oh, that's 11 points. If you get another 10, you can get a big toy. Seems to be talking down to you quite a bit, as if you're a little kid, which you kind of are acting like one. So, yeah. But yeah, you got it. Please natural 1, please natural 1, because it would just be so perfect.
Oh, actually pretty good.
If you throw it, it falls down, it teeters right on the edge of the 5 to 10 points. Teeters, and falls into the 10.
Hey!
Hey,
Super Eileen throw.
So,
Super Eileen, go!
which god is your favorite, dearie?
You did it! You're on a roll today.
So she looks around. Oh, Nap, that's not a very popular one. She looks around and she actually has to rifle behind quite a few of the more popular ones to find one. And she pulls it out. It is adorable. It's got 2 big horns. It's got a very cute face. It's shirtless and is striking a showing off like a flexing pose. And it's winking at you. It's very adorable.
Good job, Eileen.
It's definitely a very child friendly version of Nap. Who's usually depicted completely naked. It is super soft and super cute. So, does anyone else want to give it a try?
Sure.
Okay, Marreinn and Therud, which one of you, for the sake of brevity, why don't you make your 3 checks, both of you, if you want to strength or dexterity?
Which one's harder to pass?
Well, you could, yeah, you don't know, to be honest. You think it's really just a matter of opinion.
I can make the checks now, or do I have to wait a minute?
You can do it all 3 now, for the sake of brevity.
It's a matter of opinion. Oof.
Those are dexterity saving throws, but I'll take so it's -2 from whatever those rolls are. The first one you get a 10 very easily. It rolls in perfectly. It's like, oh, you're very good at this. She seems to be a bit awkward, not really knowing what to call you, since you're a bird man. But yeah, very good job. The second one rolls off and just gets 1 point. The final one teeters a bit, but lands in the 5 points, so you end up with 16 points in total. But you do get your choice of small toy, so the small version's got. Bongo, similar story. The first one falls into 1 point, the second one falls in 5 points, and the third one gets 10 points. Got better with each shot. Both of you can take your choice of small god toy.
What are my options?
Basically, any of the gods. If you want to know a few of the main ones,
Sure.
you'd probably know most about people like Munya, Sunyo. There's Odin, Ur is very popular. Frika.
I'll just take a nap one too. Why not?
Okay. Oh, sure. Yeah, she gets you a small nap one. This one's a little bit shittier. It's not as big. It's actually a wooden toy. This one. Think like a toy soldier of nap. It's very rigid. It's got the horns. It's actually the horns are actually razor sharp to the point where you could probably stab someone with this. It's not a very like cleverly made toy. But yeah, which one would you like, Malreinn?
Do you have Kurlin or any Kenku gods, or are they just gods from the humans?
I know the Kenkus do worship a god. I just need to check what it was because I wrote it in my notes.
Kurlin, so I was wondering if they had that. But he is a lesser deity and not really a god, I think.
Because I've got it in my actual like notes of my notes this campaign. I'm not sure if it's the same thing, but I'll check. Oh yeah, it's the god Rata. It's a squirrel god. That's the god Kenku, the god that Kenku's like. He's effectively Ratatoska. He's a squirrel that lives in the giant tree, and he's a god of messaging.
Cool.
But yeah, you can get one of him. It's a little cute little toy squirrel, effectively. Its tail moves back and forth. You can move its tail back and forth. Super Eileen throw is your name. But yeah, at this point, Fortress, do you want to have a go or not?
Sure, I'll give it a go.
Okay. Strength or dexterity checks. Gives you these 3 balls, which feel completely light. You don't know what the others are talking about.
So strength, right?
Yeah. Unless you want to try dexterity, but
Super Eileen throw.
Super Fortress throw.
Would it be really dumb to rage? No, it wouldn't be. I'm gonna start raging.
I'll say, since you're raging. Okay, no, that's fine. Throw it with rage.
Do it.
Good advantage. You sort of you watch, yeah. He doesn't actually manage to get any points. Mostly because he's not throwing. Like typically, you're all throwing them like underarm, so it sort of falls down. You're also just like throwing them like baseballs, and he's just like they're just splatting against him, bouncing off of the actual particular board. The woman sort of awkwardly smiles and it's like, "Ooh, better luck next time." And a lot of kids seem to sort of push you out of the line, sort of, as it's their turn. And quite a crowd has formed now. Quite a lot of people wanting to play this game. But yeah.
Dang.
Good try.
I have 2 exhaustion points now. What does that mean? Wait, no.
Do you
wait.
actually? I don't think you actually. It's a weird thing where I don't actually
No,
think that's
it's
how
only
barbarians.
reckless attack
It's.
or berserker thing. Yeah.
I will
so
check.
if I don't attack, I don't have to do it. I don't think.
I will check.
Or if I don't attack with a bonus action.
Starting when you go into a frenzy, you can go into a frenzy when you range. If you do so, the duration of rage can make a single wave attack. So it's only if you're starting like bonus. So I'll say you don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty sure like Yasha from Critical Role, like they don't do the exhaustion thing at all, or I just never seen it. 'Cause exhaustion is a pretty a pretty shitty stat to actually have.
Yeah, we haven't really been doing it either. So.
But that is true. You don't really recklessly attack much.
Well, no, it's different. It's Berserker. I
Oh,
Berserk
yeah,
all
you,
the time.
oh, yeah, you do actually do. Oh, never mind. You do the bonus stats. We'll make sure we keep a better eye on it in the future.
Alright.
Because I think you can get rid of it with a short rest exhaustion anyway, or lower it by 1 point with a short rest. But yeah, you finish up there, and in this time, you've actually naturally been walking towards this this cooking meat shop that you were going towards. So if you want to like check it out, you're pretty close to it.
Oh, that's the place with the smuggling?
Yeah, the place with the apparently rumors of smuggling
Alright.
has happened.
I'll check it out.
Okay, yeah.
Seem to be opened.
It's closed currently, because of most of the shops are closed to this event. But if you wanted to like break in or something, you physically could do that. Oh, like a take your picture sort of thing. You can definitely look around for something like that. Yeah, you find one. You're sort of just looking around. There's one nearby. It does take you a little bit of time, but and it's like a little bit off the path. But you do find this thing which seems to be like a painter. These two painters are sort of running the store where they're painting couples together. It's Erie's painting booth.
Eerie.
The goddess Erie, who you'd know as Nap's wife, who's like the goddess of healing and stuff like that, and love and all that stuff. She's like the I don't know how to describe it other than she's basically like think like kind of Aphrodite. She's got long blonde hair that's like twice the length of her, so it goes across the ground wherever she walks. And it's said that as she's walking around, flowers sort of just get stuck in her hair. She's basically an Instagram model, levels of hot as well. So yeah, eerie, like that. She is also the like the patron goddess of the spring area, and since it's relevant, I think Therud and Eileen would both pick up on this. She's also one of the people who possessed an item, one of these 6 super powerful items.
Oh.
You can give me, both of you can give me religion checks to see if you remember what item was. This is like generic history. Like, what year was World War II? This is more like very much just memory of stuff.
Rip Dabo. Oof, rip Eileen.
You have no idea. Because here's the thing: while you were learning about the war, you were a little bit enamored by Nap, and mostly just paid attention to the bits that he was in it, and you sort of skipped over the rest because he was so cool. But Therud, you'd remember it was some sort of crown that protected her, and it protected her and all of the people around her. She actually saved someone's life with it, apparently. This god Brada, who you're not very familiar with, who's like an underground god. But yeah, you know that she's probably got a crown. That's like her magic item. But yeah.
All right.
You sort of can approach this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a line, but it's quickly enough. Your turn. Like, so like, do you want us to paint you or something?
That's what we were hoping.
Like, cool. It's like 1 gold for a painting.
All
I
right.
hope you can hold a pose for like 10 minutes.
I'll give her 1 gold.
Thanks. And she sort of just like lets you do a pose. What kind of pose are you doing? Just gonna sit like next to each other? Or... Like, we don't have all day, so like make your choice quickly.
All right.
Okay. Give me both of you, and so that's what Eileen's doing. What's Therud doing?
Sure, I'll do that as well. I don't.
Okay. Both of you just give me sort of Constitution saving throws, I think, to see how well you can hold this pose. Just normal without advantage.
No, I have advantage on all Constitution saving throws.
Sure, why not?
Because I have Warcaster.
Oh yeah. Wait, it's all Constitution saving throws.
That's it. Just says your advantage on Constitution saving throws.
I think
Or
that's
I
when you're
guess.
making in regards to concentration checks.
Okay.
I'll
Well.
check.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
does
I
sound
guess
like
that
an
is
interesting
actually. I guess it actually probably does say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you
Yeah.
have advantage on Constitution saving throws that make you maintain your concentration on a spell when you take damage. So you just roll a regular one. Yeah. Yep, you're fine. Eileen,
Perfect.
by like the end of the 10 minutes, you're getting a little bit tired out from holding your arm, but she finishes it and hands you your painting. So like, yeah, now you can go. Next, please. This other couple just sort of awkwardly walks along, takes your place. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. See, there's quite a lot of kids playing. The line's honestly looking bigger, and you can see a lot of their plushies are already gone because they're selling like hotcakes. This game seems to be very popular. You're gonna wait till it's like, okay, yeah, you wait again until you play it. Oh, you again? I remembered you. Would you like another go? Alrighty. I don't know why her voice went suddenly really close. Alrighty then.
All right.
Yeah, so you can make your Dex or Strength checks.
Ooh.
Oof.
The first one falls off, and you unfortunately don't get any points. You throw it, and it does hit in the Chinko machine, but falls to the 0 point section right off to the side. Ooh, unlucky. Second one does fall into the 10 point area. And the third one only falls into the 1 point section.
I'm back.
11 points. It's enough to get a small toy. Yeah. They're not actually like keychains, but they're like effectively the size of keychain toys. Very much like very pity prize. That are definitely not as good quality as the other ones. Okay, yeah, you can get an eerie one. Funnily enough, with hers, is that you actually find one that's got pretty horsehair attached to it. It's wooden, but it's got like
Aww.
long blonde horsehair that's like twice the length of her.
That's adorable. That's great.
Okay, if you want to try again, just make 3 Dex or 3 Strength checks. I like how everyone's loving this plushie game, which was the last one I made. Oh, you've already got. Well, that's 25 points. That's enough for a big one.
You can only make 3.
But it's fine. You can get a big plushie of your choice. Which god would you like a plushie of?
I will pick the most chewable, just for my dog, of course. So I don't really care what kind of god it is.
Okay, you can just get the most popular one then. You can easily get an one, which are like everywhere. But yeah, you get an plushie. Yeah, you can add those things to your inventory. Maybe yeah, you get an plushie. Seems to be like, it seriously seems like, and this is like to elaborate how clear it is, there might have been like 2 or 3 nap ones made, but there are like 100 ones. Is based off of Ulla.
I will give the toy to Malur.
Yeah, Mala just happily takes it into her maw and just starts shaking it around a little bit.
I feel like that's disrespectful.
Probably a little bit. Granted, yeah, no. Yeah, but I don't think anyone seems to mind, since it's more like, oh, it's a dog with a cute toy. But it probably is a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah, but I am not really a part of this culture, so
That's true. That is
sense.
very true. But yeah. So yeah, what are you guys doing? Are you doing anything particular?
think
Um,
good.
we can investigate the smuggling thing.
You mean we have to actually do like work and stuff?
Can we just play games all the time?
Yeah, can that be like the whole D&D is just us playing games?
The whole game.
There are more stalls around if you do want to do it, but it is starting to get a little bit later. Like it's definitely past the early morning, and when it was morning, you saw all of the stalls being like full of flowers and sweets and food, and now they're starting to get a little bit emptier as it's approaching noon. Already, the plushie, the throw the balls plushie stand, which doesn't have a good name.
Throw the balls plushie stand. What
I
a
think-
cult.
wait, I should check. I know. I named it something really stupid in my notes. I think that was roughly what it's called in my notes. It's called balls to get plushies.
Balls for
But
plushies.
yeah, they're already like halfway
Balls
out of
for
stock,
plushies.
and it's only been about 4 hours of walking around. Balls for plushies. But yeah, what are you guys doing?
Uh-huh.
You can investigate that main street a little bit more, I guess. But
If you want to do that, yeah, you can all head over there. It's pretty empty there because it doesn't seem like there's any stalls like around there. It's definitely a bit of walking away. So and with the festival being so busy and all these blossoms falling around, you're pretty safe to at least like look around the shop. If you're breaking in, that might be a bit more suspicious. But if you want to like walk around and investigate, you definitely can.
yeah, I'm just gonna investigate a little bit, just not break in, but just look around.
Yeah, I would also just investigate as much as I can before it gets suspicious.
Okay, so it's Fortress and Malreinn doing investigating while Eileen and Therud keep watch. Is that good?
Sure.
Yeah.
So watchers, I'm going to need to make you to make perception checks, and investigators, I'm going to need you to make investigation checks.
Oof.
Oofity oof.
So Eileen, perception, and Fortress, investigation.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not rushing. I'm just making sure.
Scooby whoop.
Nope.
Investigation, perception.
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
Yeah, the two of you are keeping watch. You don't seem to see anything in particular. Mostly just Eileen's probably making the eerie and nap toys kiss. So she's getting a little bit distracted. As for investigation, you walk around the entire like shop, which is separated from all the other shops around it. And you have a quick peek in the windows, but you basically can't see anything. It's too dark inside to get like any sort of indication of what's going on here. You'd probably have to break in. You do see with Fortress, you see around the back there is a basement entrance, and Malreinn, you sort of check more at the front, and there seems to be a front door. So those two seem to be the only two like doors. There are a few windows if you wanted to also break in that way, but that is assuming you want to break in at all.
Hmm.
Nah, I'm not gonna.
Maybe we should
I'm just
break
gonna
in.
look after the store, I think.
Break in all of the buildings.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Come on.
I think that's very
Come on.
Come
let's be-
on. Come
Let's be
on.
illegal. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
But yeah, it's up to you guys. D&D is about what you guys want to do.
I'm gonna
Come
wait
on.
till after the tournament. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, he is right though.
So you're gonna wait till after the talent show, basically.
Yeah,
So
I need to
talent show's
practice
tomorrow.
more.
Yeah, but if you guys want to spend the rest of the day going to different games and stuff, most definitely can.
Sounds like fun.
Is
wanna-
there anything else? Like, is there anything notable people want to do? Like, if it's whether that's go to try and find specific game stalls or do anything else.
Go
before-
find some
First day
nice
of the festival.
things to eat.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. Like, won't roll up eat everything, but for like the price of 1 gold, you can easily buy enough food and confectionery for everyone. Quite a lot of cotton candy, because it's obviously the same color as the blossom. But yeah, you can definitely do that. You get food for everyone. So I'll just ask around the table once. Malreinn, is there anything you want to do in particular before like the first day of the festival comes to a close?
I will search for Kenku-related things to see if there's anything that people of my culture can do.
Okay, that's what you're doing. Eileen, what are you doing? While Eileen's like typing that, I guess, or being AFK.
Oh,
Therud, what are you doing? Well,
Eileen is
she can
typing.
type while I'm asking.
No, she can't type well enough.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. It is against all rules of D&D. Hmm.
While you're thinking, Fortress. Anything you want to do?
Okay, this is just a question. It's probably not something that happen now, but how much would it take to hire somebody? Like,
For prostitution? For
How much would it take to
what?
hire someone? Wink, wink.
Like that's a very vague question.
I'm gonna like message you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can definitely find like all sorts of foods. Definitely now that it's getting to noon, like when you were leaving the cooking shop, that's when there's a lot of food out because everyone's hungry and you can get all sorts of delicious food. I'll say like if everyone's spending 1 gold, or like anyone who wants to get cool food, spend a gold. You've got loads of cool food, confectionery, little treats. You don't eat, no.
Square I said earlier. I think that's not what I would do.
That's a very interesting question.
I want to
don't
know
know
what
how
this
much that would be.
question is.
I don't know how much that would be to the person who PM'd me. Like probably not that much, but it's also like they'll probably kind of get in the way.
What about adopting a child?
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably a great idea to do when you're like going into dungeons and fighting dangerous creatures. and fighting
adopt
dragons.
a child.
It's a new shield.
Yeah, mostly pink. Mostly pink. There's also a few. Mostly, like, imagine like
Aw.
bright pink, and some of them are white. So it's like very typical blossom colors. You even see a few that are like a dark, more blue pigmented pink. So it's like purpley, but it's very anime. And you actually like looking up at where these blossoms are falling from. You can see the tree, and from this angle, it very much looks like a hammer.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was going to be a darling reference.
But yeah, so is Eileen doing anything in particular other than that? And is Therud doing anything in particular other than that?
Yeah, I'm just going to go with Eileen.
Okay. And Fortress? Because I know what Malreinn's doing.
I'm just going with it, whoever's the most.
We'll probably go with Malreinn, I guess, because Eileen and Therud are together, and you don't want to leave squishy little Malreinn on his own. Malreinn's not super squishy, but
Yeah.
Yes, he
he's
is.
definitely more likely to start a fight than Eileen or Therud.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, you're buying crepes. So you look around. Give me just a general investigation check. I guess Fortress can too. So Fortress and Malreinn, just to see how much Kenku-related stuff you can find.
Kenku paraphernalia.
Malreinn, you don't seem to find any. You don't think it's like a racist thing. It's more just there's really not that many Kenkus out there. Like Kenkus are a fairly rare race. It's honestly a miracle that they even knew about the god that you liked. But it's probably because this town in particular is very much all about those gods.
Survival of the fittest.
Fortress sort of wanders around mostly with you. You can play another couple games. You don't like, but nothing like super notable happens. You sort of spend the rest of the day wandering around, generally okay. Therud and Eileen, you sort of spend some time together as the couple you now are, apparently. I don't know what's going on. Are you a couple? Anyway,
I think so.
Therud and Eileen, they sort of wander around, and as you're walking, you actually sort of find yourself going towards the temples. The temples aren't closed off; they're actually open to the public, and a lot of people, the more religious people, are praying because obviously this event is supposed to be about respecting the gods, because the gods give the gods. Both of you can give me a religion check actually, since you're both in the religion area once more.
Wait, who?
You and Eileen.
Okay.
It sort of relates to the Battle of the Gods. It sort of relates to the Battle of the Gods, from what Therud knows. The tree, the giant tree, Eileen doesn't know this. Again, Eileen's just sort of like talking about how Nap is the most awesome god. She's actually like really not that knowledgeable about the gods. She just really likes Nap.
It's
But
adorable.
yeah, Therud, you know this. Generally, you've probably also been I assume you've probably read about it as well quite a bit. But generally, the Battle of the Gods, one god died in the battle, notably Hor, based off of Thor.
Wait,
and
whore?
he is actually another H-H-O-R.
I was going for.
Yeah, his name is Hor. He's a total slut. Anyway, the slang.
Horrible. Oh.
He died in the war, gave his life, and he was another one of these people who had an item, which people would recognize as Bjorka, his legendary hammer. The tree that you're seeing is actually sprouted from his hammer, and that's like the only item that people actually knew where it was, because people assumed it became the tree. Mjorka, like that, but with an M instead of a B. But yeah, it's he's the god of like he's the god of. This was literally inspired because Thor, the actual Thor, is the god of thunder, lightning, and oak trees. So I was like, I'm just going to make this god a tree. So yeah, he died and became a tree, and that's why the tree is shaped like a hammer. And
Oh.
every year it blossoms, spreads its blossom down, and it's considered a very religious thing. So the two of you sort of naturally find your way there. And Eileen, you spot someone sort of milling around Nap's very small temple. Seems to be looking at you, and it seems to be a much better dressed old lady, but you've definitely seen her before.
Better dressed.
She doesn't look like homeless anymore. Yeah, you sort of walk up to her.
Hey, lady.
Yes, well, I should extend you the courtesy of honesty. I'm not homeless. I'm actually the high priestess of this city. I've been meaning to meet with you in regards to your cloak, sir.
What about it?
I'm sure you're aware that that cloak is a very powerful item.
Yes.
Something that could, and I don't mean to scare you with this, but people have been known, humans and other non-god races, have been known to burst into flames upon wearing it and realizing its true power. It's a very dangerous item in the wrong hands. Do you know much about Munya?
A little. Not too much.
I see. I know this is a lot to ask, but if you would consider meeting with me and the royals of this town, we might have something to discuss, some plan for you. If you are holding this item and your friends have not been affected by it, you could be very, very useful to us. Of course, we wouldn't want to pressure you while there's this festivity going on. For now, just have fun, enjoy the festivities, and pray to your gods. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Not this time.
Very well. I shall see you later. And she seems to head off away into another temple, to the Temple of Ur, the massive one. It's actually one of those things that Eileen would probably notice this. Nap's temple is kind of tiny compared to all of the other ones here. It's definitely bigger than the minor gods, like Aegir, for instance. Aegir is a minor god that you haven't encountered, but it's bigger than the minor ones, but it's like the smallest of the major gods. But yeah, that's basically what you see here. Is there anything else people want to do, or is it going to be going to bed?
I want to give my +2 cider.
Okay, yeah. You head over and you give the small toy, the toy Rabata to her. She's very thankful for it. She actually sort of takes you aside. It's like, you know, I've been thinking a lot, and I've really missed you. Would you like to share a room with me?
Oh.
She's thirsty as fuck. So yeah, the two of you share her room. She has actually a house in the city. So yeah. So that's happening. You go to pray to nap. Is Therud gonna join her with that, or is just gonna sort of wait outside?
I'll go with her.
Okay, you sort of you step inside. It's a small temple. There's nobody in it right now, but in the center there is a very glorious satyr, very tall, very like regally presented, with huge horns. How are you gonna pray? Any way in particular?
Therud probably has like no idea what he's doing.
Therud's definitely not like too familiar with this. You kind of expect Eileen to start like drop to her knees, put her hands together, but also the equal part of you doesn't fully expects it to be completely different. With what she's told you about Nap. Oh god, it's not that.
What?
Jesus Christ, Malreinn.
Nope. Nope. Automatic close that tab.
It's a funny song, but
I'm recording, so no.
yeah. Probably be good. But probably be bad to do that.
Hopefully this isn't 20 gigabytes this time.
Yeah, you watch as Eileen does a lot of small magic tricks, which is something you see her do quite a lot throughout the day. You've never really assumed it to be some sort of worship at all, but she does this sort of similar thing a lot. And you spend a few minutes doing that. Therud sort of watches along. As you're doing that, I'm gonna need Therud to give me a religion check.
Okay.
Okay, that's definitely enough. Something very strange happens. The large plush you have of Nap seems to just fall out of your bag and land on the floor. It then stands up.
What?
And it's like less than a foot tall. It's just under a foot, like probably about 11 inches tall. And it looks up at you and it's like, "Hey, Eileen, great to talk to you again." And actually holds out his thumb. Now,
What?
I know it's kind of been a while since we've talked like this, but you did a really good job. And holds out his thumb again, thumbs up. Now, like, there are kind of some super powerful things going on, and it might be a bit scary, but don't worry, I'm always here for you.
What? Therud is just staring in disbelief.
It kind of looks terrifying because it's like out of a horror movie. Eileen, you'd be slightly more familiar. He's never shown up to you in this manner before, but he's shown up in weirder ways. So
Even weirder ways.
yeah, so you probably wouldn't be as taken aback. But this is definitely unique. Anyway, I just wanted to say that you've been really good. Yeah, it's been a bit. Like, you know, there's actually like more than just you who pray to me. I know it doesn't feel like that a lot of the time because most of them suck at it. Maybe a little. Do you notice? The look on that guy's face was well worth it. It may have like torn a few holes in the space dimension, but
Worth.
totally worth.
Word is.
But yeah, like some really scary stuff is going to go down. And I just want to let you know that
In the
you shouldn't
cheek.
be worried. You should be brave. Also, I got a good feeling about that guy over there, and it points towards Therud. He seems trustworthy. And if not, and it waddles towards you, like something out of an anime. It just walks towards you. It's like, if you hurt her feelings, I'll beat you up.
Well, no, I don't have any intention of doing that.
Good. Well, I kind of got to go. Apparently, possessing a toy is kind of painful. So yeah. And you pick him up and just kiss him on the cheek. Cool. I'll see you later. And he reverts back to his old pose, the winking pose, the flexing muscles of the plushy toy. You met with silence.
Well, that was interesting. I was not expecting that. I guess I'm glad about that.
But yeah, it is getting quite late, and all of you are heading to bed. I assume same sleeping places where you were before, except now Malreinn's sleeping with the girl. So that's pretty good. I think going to bed this time would probably be a good place to end, actually. Let me just check.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just checking if there's anything like...
Are there any elephants I could find?
Elephants? What?
Not here. There are elephants and big animals in the summer area,
Dabo,
and probably in the spring area too.
do you literally just want to buy like everything, Dabo?
I do.
The animal collector.
Do all of my animals fit inside my thing, my cage?
Yeah,
here?
you don't have
Sure
a
thing.
right now. You've got a couple of horses and a dog and a bird. So it's
Yeah.
a bit full, but it's not. But you still got enough room for a couple more, like medium animals. Okay, yeah, that happened. And yeah, you're met with night, and you all go to sleep. And yeah, that's a good place to end it. Unless, of course, there's anything else people need to do. But yeah,
I think so.
cool. In that case, yeah, what do you guys think?
That's fun.
It was really fun. I loved the games you did, especially the basket going one. So yeah, it was a really fun session.
I'm glad.
I feel like I roleplayed decently.
Yeah, you did. I think everyone did a
Yeah.
great job of role playing.
Everyone did it really well today.
A nice session. Just nice and chill.
Yep, nice and chill. Definitely not because you like missed something that's going on.
Oh,
All of
totally
your
not.
friends are dying.
What? I don't have any friends. Rip. Everyone's dead.
That was actually the first non-combat session this campaign.
Was it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of liked it just to relax and RP.
There definitely could have been combat. It's just you didn't like get into any combat.
Yeah, I think if we investigated that building, there definitely would have been some combat.
Probably.
Who needs to investigate buildings when we
It's
can?
basically like Eileen and Therud dating, sort of, but not really, but kind of.
I mean that pretty much.
Angel and Ghost, that's the game.
This is actually a dating simulator, and Eileen is the protagonist.
Boyfriend tree.
And then there's also Malreinn Insider, and then Fortress and his animals. See? Every ship works.
Wait a minute.
Although it's going to be interesting seeing
cow.
like Rob come back.
Markus and his hand.
Best ship.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very good point.
That is actually that is a question.
Jesus, this is like Task Philosopher.
What?
What'd you say? I closed at 120.
So, is it bestiality if a machine and an animal have sex?
Let's not.
I guess it depends on where the machine is. If you have machine like in Westeros, where they are almost humans, it would be bestiality, but if the machine is less advanced, it would not be bestiality, because we use machines now to impregnate animals, so I guess not.
That's true, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and do your thing.
But it's just look the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's interesting that bits of backstories are getting revealed, particularly Eileen and Malreinn.
No one knows anything about mine.
I have a
No, they'll
backstory.
never know that you're a child murderer. Not that you murder children, you just murdered people when you were a child.
I mean,
I mean,
I probably did both.
Probably. Oh no, what was that thing? It was that Vine where it's like the one thing worse than
A
murderer.
rapist. A
Child.
rapist. No.
A rapist, yeah, a child.
No. Boom. A child. No.
But yeah,
That's a good skit in general. There's a whole video.
really
about
is.
it.
This is also a great skit. I am getting it now. And paste.
A stiff movie.
One of my favorite skits.
Child murderers.
Probably go for now.
Yeah.
Alright.
see ya.
Peace out.
Later.
What do you think made these last two sessions actually good?
Uh-huh.
I think the characters work really well together here.
Oh,
Yeah.
plot.
Plot.
Makes sense actually, because this is like the first time you're getting like there are like multiple plot points going on like at the same time. You're just like starting to get involved in this plot. I think another plot people will probably know if they thought about it enough, but yeah, you probably know it if you thought about it enough. But I'm not going to spoil it. It's definitely going on though.
Yeah, the artifact storyline is really well done. I am looking forward to seeing it unfold later on.
Yeah.
It reminds me of all those
Therud.
old Japanese RPGs on the old game devices, you know? Like the old Final Fantasy things.
Yeah.
So really fun.
The Therud, for some reason, being able to handle some cloak. Plotline.
Suppress. Repressing is when you like get abused as a kid and then like and like repress the emotions. I think suppressing is intentional and repressing is like instinctual. I think that is a good point though. Like Eileen's much more like I do what I want. I think it's also a good thing because like Astra, for instance, if she fails a perception check, she'll probably feel bad because she's like, I should have been keeping an eye out for my friends. Eileen's like, so yeah, Nap's this really cool god.
Dude. Oh, look, Nap. Oh, and here we have, what is it? I don't even remember the name anymore. Irene?
Eerie.
Eerie? Eerie, that's what it was.
Eerie is the I fully apologize because in my attempts to make the name sound more Nordic, I made them like impossible to pronounce or spell properly.
Mjork.
Mjorka isn't a god. Mjork is a hammer.
Well, it's close enough to being a bad thing to spell.
I mean, there's literally Jornunganner.
Even though I like spelled it right like the first time.
Yeah.
Except that I heard it wrong.
I think it's Jornunganner. It's the name of the wall. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah. Butch, yeah.
Well, I had a lot of fun these sessions, but I am going to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
See ya.
See y'all.
It's actually kind of funny over preparing for stuff because like it's interesting seeing what you did do and what you didn't do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like there was some different stuff you could have gotten into.
We were just having
Like,
some
I think
fun.
a better way of saying this is there's like I've currently got 4 plot points going along, and you only touched 2 of them.
Hey. We're good at this.
Find out soon enough. But yeah. I'm glad you like her. Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet you
Rob's.
didn't expect the Minotaur to show up. Like when you sent me that list of characters from your past, I was like, that Minotaur got a really good idea. I want him. So like I had that from like as soon as you sent me that message, I'm like, I'm going to make him an NPC.
I want him.
They were. They very much were, but it sort of broke apart when you weren't there. Whether that's completely Eileen's fault or not.
Eileen held
Who
it together.
knows? Yeah, unless you guys want to do anything else, I'm going to go now. I'm good to play something else if people aren't ridiculously tired.
Oh, I'm not tired. I'm fine. So, if you guys are down, I'd be down.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, we can play Monster Prom. Bongo, you there?
Yeah, I'm
He's
in.
muted, so
Oh.
he's probably like AFK or something.
Why was I muted?
I don't know. We muted this whole time and talking.
How
so
long have I been muted?
Quite a
Like-
bit. I haven't heard you talking a bit.
Oh. How did I... Wait. When did it even mute? I should probably turn those sound notifications back on for the muting.
Oh.
Because I got the new computer and I didn't turn that on ever.
I just have push to talk on always.
I have like a key on my keyboard to toggle mute so that if I ever need to, I can just mute myself really quickly.
When I did streaming, I did that for a bit, but then I was like, I completely forgot how to use it. I sort of forget about it all the time. So push to talk's way better.
Then I just forget to push to talk and I'll just be talking to myself. So either way, I'm gonna talk to myself.
It does take getting used to, but I just don't like the idea of hearing my like static and stuff. Also, if I want to mute my mic quickly, then I just don't press down the button. I know a better idea: push to mute.
I think that
Constantly talking
is a
hold
thing.
down. It is a thing, yeah, but it's also a really dumb thing. But yeah, I'll see you guys in like 10 minutes for Monster Prom.
Okay.
Peace out for now, I guess.
Thanks for watching this lovey-dovey session.